we are being told, and what upsets me more, is what is really getting on me is our problems and our daily lives and what we're going through has nothing to do with immigration. But the politicians they'll tell you that it is, especially one in particular. He'll tell you that the reason you've got problems with this, the NHS, that, you can't pay your bills, you can't do, is because of the people coming on the boats. And it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. We're together. We need to stick together. I'll tell you again another experience of my immigration. The Jubilee, God bless her soul, our dear Queen. On her Jubilee, I went to my local park where I walk my dogs 3 times a day in my community. I know 100 different ways to say hello. How are you? I went to the park. We had Neville, who sells his West Indian food there, giving it away for free. Reggae music and all the brothers sitting out drinking.
Politicians keep telling us the reason you can't pay your bills, the reason the NHS is on its knees, is the people arriving here. One politician in particular has built his entire career on it. Then a doorman rang LBC. 55 years old, 20 years in his community, and in under a minute he took that whole story apart with nothing but his own life. Let's watch it together. And before I tell you to like and hit that subscribe button, please allow me the chance to earn that from you.
How are you? All right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, well, I have heard such nonsense as that last caller before, because that's what you get. You get an answer, but you don't really get anything out of them, any substance about immigration, and you don't feel safe walking down the street. So I'll tell you about my experience of immigration, because all this nonsense, I don't see it. See, I'm 55. Been a doorman for 20 years in my community. I look like a doorman. I know what I look like. But I'll tell you now, you have to make adjustments. Of course you do, to people that may be different, maybe have come from a different world. You do make adjustments. Like I sometimes when I walk down the street, I'll see some Asian women, some Muslim women, and they're a bit nervous because the way I look. So I deliberately give them a nice big smile. I'll say to them, "Good morning, young ladies, how are you?" Just to make them at ease.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you my experience of immigration. I'm 55. Now, I remember when I was a young nipper in the 80s, because this is the language I'm hearing. I haven't heard, well, I did start hearing it with the Brexit thing, but since the 80s. And this is my experience. See, my experience is this. In the 80s, the Jamaicans and the Bajans and all the West Indians and who I went to school with and their mums and dads had come over in the 60s, and they were our bus drivers and our nurses. And look at, they're part of our community now, and we're proud. And they're proud. You see them wearing England tops. In the 80s, they supported West India. Today, cricketers, they all support the England team because they see themselves in the England team. So that's a fantastic. So my other experience is, for Saturday night, I'll go for a nice Indian curry on a Friday. I have a kebab on the way home. I have culture, I have colour, I've learned things around the world, music. They've enriched my life, my community. When I say my people, because I love my country and I love my people, I'm talking about the people. Doesn't matter what colour, creed, religion you are. If you live in my community, if you're in this country, you are my people. We are together. And you're right. Where you see it, you've got to call it out. I remember with the Brexit kicking off, I went for an Indian meal, I come out, and the first time I've heard it in 25 years, and the guy said to me, "I won't go in there, mate, buying that and there." I won't say exactly what he said, and I'll give it to him. I'll give him the verbals, and he got a shock of his life. And we are being told, and what upsets me more, what is really getting on me is, our problems and our daily lives and what we're going through has nothing to do with immigration. But the politicians they'll tell you that it is, especially one in particular. He'll tell you that the reason you've got problems with this, the NHS, that, you can't pay your bills, you can't do, is because of the people coming on the boats. And it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. We're together. We need to stick together. I'll tell you again another experience of my immigration. The Jubilee, God bless her soul, our dear Queen. On her Jubilee, I went to my local park where I walk my dogs 3 times a day in my community. I know 100 different ways to say hello. How are you? I went to the park. We had Neville, who sells his West Indian food there, giving it away for free. Reggae music and all the brothers sitting out drinking Red Stripe. You had some Asian families down the corner giving out free curry all the day. Their homemade food with their music and dancing and playing games. All the children in the park all day playing together. The firemen come. The local Polish community came and did their kielbasa on the barbecues. And I sit every morning having my skinny latte in Costa's with my doorman, my team, and my brothers, all that, they're from all around the world, and we discuss it all the time.
Oh.
And you just got to keep talking. And my gift to my community, and I've said it all my life, because my father said it, and my granddad said it, my gift to my community are my children. And from the day that they were out on the street, they were taught how to think, how to say, how to accept people, difference, how to help, how to love, how to show kindness, how to tolerate, how to be tolerant, and to walk through life like a man, that your word means everything, and the way that you are every day in life means everything, and it shows the people around you. And no one asks me, no one says to me, are you a good dad? That's not for me, my children will know. Are you a good person? That's not for me. My friends and my community will tell you how they see me, and because that's my actions. That's how I live my life.
Darren, I couldn't love you more.
Yeah, I'll get upset with it. It's bloody upsetting.
It is.
It's upsetting. I in the 80s, my best mate, Tom, God bless his soul, he a West Indian fella, and I got a job, odd carrier. I was an odd carrier. I'll never forget this. I was an odd carrier. We went up there. It was £100 a day. It was big money in them days. And the geezers gave me a job. Anyway, they said to me later in the day, have you got anyone else you know, Darren? And Thomas was like a brick door, he was. And I said, I haven't got my mate. He said, bring him tomorrow. I said, all right. On the way home, normal, some racial jokes, blah, blah. What's your mate? I said, yeah, he's massive. Oh, yeah, well, long he ain't black. That's when well, my heart sunk. So I got out. I said, well, he is actually. And I could tell. I could just hear the silence. And I got out. Anyway, I phoned my mate. I said, Tom, because there was no mobiles in them days. Tom, get over in the morning. Mum will make you some breakfast. I've got a job for you. £100. Boom, he was there in the morning. We went to the job. You could see the looks on her face. But 10 o'clock in the morning, the first cup of tea, Jesus come to me, said to me, "There's Dale, your mate." He said, he wasn't even man enough to say it himself. He said, your mate, he said, we don't really need, we're busy. I knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He said, so he's off. You tell him we don't need him. So I said, well, if you don't need him, you don't need me.
You don't need me either.
So he said, so me and Tom, we walked 5 miles home, and like my arm around him, and within 10 minutes we were talking nonsense on the way home and everything. And I'll never forget, I had to go to him and tell him that he didn't. I'll never forget the day I die. Yeah. His face, the look on his face, and I knew, and I was hoping that stuff would all fade away as time and generations go. And it breaks my heart now when we see people scared and vilifying people because of they've come here to try to work hard. They've left their families from the other side of the world,
or even those who were born here, Darren. Even those who were born here.
And those that were born here, and that's what I'm talking about, my people. There are people. We're all together. It's just, and it's all nonsense. And you're right. When you challenge them, when I see it on X and I say, where did you get that from? None of them have got any facts. It's all myth.
And actually, what you're showing, Darren, and I must leave it there, but I could listen to you for the rest of the afternoon, what you're demonstrating, illustrating there is proper heart and soul. That's what you've put into your friendships and your neighbourliness and your community over the years, and into your children, and they'll carry it on. That's what you have done.
Right. Where do you even start with that? Let's start where Darren started. I'm a doorman. I know what I look like. That's a man who understands exactly how the world sees him. Big bloke, 20 years on the door, the sort of fella people cross the street to avoid. And what does he do with that? He clocks that some of the Asian and Muslim women in his community get nervous around him. So he deliberately gives them a big smile and a good morning, young ladies, just to put them at ease. Nobody taught him that in a seminar. Nobody paid him to say it. That's just a man who's decided the temperature of his own street is his responsibility. Then he takes us back to the 80s. The West Indian families he grew up with, whose mums and dads came over in the 60s and drove our buses and staffed our wards. And his point isn't nostalgia. His point is what happened next. Those same families who supported the West Indies at cricket in the 80s now wear England shirts. Because, as Darren puts it, they see themselves in the England team. That's what belonging looks like when you actually let people belong. It takes a generation. And it works, and Darren watched it happen on his own street. And notice what he calls everyone, my people. Not the white blokes, not the ones who look like him. Anyone in his community, whatever colour, creed or religion, if you're in it, you are my people. It's the most generous definition of patriotism you'll hear all year, and it came from a doorman, not a think tank. But Darren isn't soft. When it kicked off around Brexit and a man outside an Indian restaurant said something ugly, the first time he'd heard it in 25 years, Darren gave him the verbals and the shock of his life. That matters. Kindness with no backbone is just wallpaper. Darren's kindness has a doorman standing behind it. Then comes the line this whole video is named after. Our problems and our daily lives and what we're going through has nothing to do with immigration. But the politicians will tell you it does. One in particular, Darren says, will tell you the N8s is struggling and your bills are unpayable because of the people on the boats. And Darren calls it what it is. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Here's the thing, he's right, and he's right in a way no columnist can be, because his evidence is his actual life. The Jubilee party in his local park. Neville giving away West Indian food for free, Asian families handing out homemade curry, the Polish community on the barbecues, all the children playing together all day, Darren having his morning coffee with his team, his brothers, from all around the world. You cannot spin that man. He was there. And then the story. The one that will stay with you. 1980s. Darren's a young hod carrier, just landed a job, and the boss asks if he knows anyone else. He does. His best mate, Tom. West Indian. On the way home, the boss starts up with the racial jokes, not knowing, and Darren's heart sinks. He brings Tom anyway. Mum makes him breakfast, they go in together. And by 10 o'clock, the boss pulls Darren aside. Too cowardly to say it to Tom's face, mind. Tell your mate we don't need him. We're busy, but we don't need him. Darren knew exactly what it was. And with his own wages on the line, no hesitation, he says the 8 words that tell you everything about the man. Well, if you don't need him, you don't need me. And then he and Tom walked 5 miles home, Darren's arm around his mate, talking nonsense within 10 minutes. But Darren says he'll never forget the look on Tom's face till the day he dies. That's the whole argument right there. The people telling you to fear your neighbour are counting on you never having a Tom. Darren had a Tom, so the con never worked on him, not in the 80s, not during Brexit, not now. The host said he couldn't love Darren more. Proper heart and soul, he called it. And for once, the radio undersold something. So, thank you for watching a doorman do a better job on immigration in 7 minutes than most of Westminster managers in a career. If that's ruined political punditry for you, I do apologise. Like it, share it, subscribe if you fancy. Darren would probably just say good morning to you either way.